I'm Managing Editor Kim Schmidt. Welcome to On the Record. Here's a look at what's currently impacting the ag equipment industry. The drought that has plagued the western U.S., particularly California, for the last 4 years continues to linger. In fact, as of April 1st, the snowpack in the Sierra Nevada is the lowest it's been in over 100 years. The April 1st snowpack measurement came in at 14.8 inches, which is nearly 6 inches less than any other year during the last century. That is just 6% of normal. Earlier this month, the State Water Resources Control Board warned water right holders that rights are likely to be curtailed within key watersheds in the state. According to the board, the warnings were designed to give water right holders advance notice to help them make difficult spring planting decisions. With the obvious stress put on farmers, I spoke with Stephen Cost, Executive Vice President of the Far West Equipment Dealers Association, to find out how the drought and water restrictions are impacting equipment sales for dealers. He says while the stories of land going out of production make you think dealers are facing big problems, that hasn't been the case. The high price for almonds, pistachios, and walnuts have meant that producers, and in turn dealers, are still making money despite the drought.
Last year was a good year for our dealers, and I think the demand for equipment was there. I think the income to the producer was there. And I'm talking in in general terms. I'm sure there was some in those areas that had the higher concentration of fallow land. Their sales might have been reduced a bit. But on average and in general, I think, sales were good last year because of high commodity prices. So this year, I think we're going to see high prices yet, but I think it'll be to be determined if they can get a crop out of it with the reduced amount of water that they'll get.
Cost says dealers need to watch what their customers are doing in terms of changing crops to make sure they have the right equipment in their inventory. For instance, he says cotton and alfalfa are going out of production because of the lack of water. The drought is no surprise for people who have been involved in California agriculture, he says, but he warns this could just be the tip of the iceberg. It remains unseen what the future will hold. Dealers on the move this week include Lavinka Equipment Company, Walker Machinery Company, and Rice Equipment. Lavinka Equipment, headquartered in East Bernard, Texas, is opening a new division, Lavinka JCB, in Victoria, Texas, where it will sell both new and used JCB agricultural and construction equipment. Walker Machinery announced plans to open a new agribusiness division at its facility in Nitro, West Virginia. Walker primarily sells and leases heavy earth-moving equipment from Caterpillar, but will now offer Massey Ferguson farm tractors and Heston hay equipment at the Nitro location. Rice Equipment of Carp, Ontario acquired Case IH dealer John A. Burnett Limited in Renfrew, Ontario. This will be the 4th store for Rice Equipment. As JCB pushes forward in growing its ag business, the manufacturer has been working to expand its dealer network to include dedicated ag equipment dealers. Executive Editor Dave Kanicki sat down with Dan Schmidt, Vice President of Agriculture, and Rob Moringa, General Manager of Dealer Development, to learn more about JCB's plans. Schmidt says that because JCB operates in somewhat of a niche, there's a little concern on their part about dealers carrying another tractor line as well. He adds that it might not be the case for other OEMs, however.
Once again, because we do think the Fast Track is unique. I mean, the production tractor market in North America is around, on average, 25,000 machines a year. We believe the high-speed market could be about 10% of that, and that's an estimation, right? So because of that, we think that we do maybe operate still in the niche side of the business, that we're not going to go head-to-head with a traditional 6,000 series or a Case 100 horsepower machine, where a lot of their volume is. We're not going after that market. So we believe that our material handling solutions with skid steers, load-alls, and TMs are supplemental to them. And for those that are ready to take on the Fast Track and truly sell it, because it does take a sell. It's a unique, technological, specific application type machine. We don't think that there will be a lot of crossover with other brands, but I'm sure they would disagree. So it's less of an issue for us, let's put it that way.
Now here's Jack Zemlicka with the latest from the Technology Corner.
Thanks, Kim. Heading into 2015, dealers knew it would be difficult to replicate the success they've enjoyed in recent years selling precision farming technology. Lower commodity prices are prompting farmers to be more judicious with where they plan to spend their money in the coming year. This forecast is reinforced by the results of No-Till Farmers' 7th annual benchmark study, as respondents project a year-over-year reduction in their precision farming investment. According to the survey results, no-till farmers plan to spend about $2,600 in 2015 on precision farming products, compared to more than $3,400 last year. While many of the survey respondents are considered early adopters of emerging technologies, the 2015 projection continues a 5-year decline in precision farming expenditures. In 2013, no-tillers estimated spending about $4,100 on precision farming equipment, well below the approximately $6,800 they invested in 2012 and the more than $8,800 they spent in 2011. Although overall spending on precision may be declining, the percentage of no-tillers utilizing advanced precision systems remained largely unchanged year over year, according to the 2015 No-Till Farmer Study. GPS and tractor auto steer remain the most commonly used technology, with more than 48% of no-tillers utilizing the systems. About 41% of no-tillers plan to use light bars for GPS guidance this year, a 3% increase over 2014, the largest percentage jump year over year. Rounding out the top 5 most utilized precision tools in 2015 are yield monitor data analysis at 41%, field mapping at 39%, and variable rate fertilizing at about 32%. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Jack. According to Reuters and the Wall Street Journal, GE is in talks with Wells Fargo and others about selling its $74 billion U.S. commercial lending and leasing portfolio. However, GE could not confirm this. It's also possible that GE will sell the division piecemeal and may break the business up. Earlier this month, GE announced plans to sell off the bulk of GE capital over the next few years to focus on industrial manufacturing. According to the Wall Street Journal, GE Capital has more than 260,000 customers, including equipment dealers. The current decline in ag equipment sales isn't limited to North America. SEMA, a European association for the ag equipment industry, released its April Business Barometer report last week. According to the report, 49% of survey respondents described their current business to be either unfavorable or very unfavorable, versus 45% for the same period last year. Just 16% described it as good, a 6% improvement from last year, and none reported their business condition to be very good. According to a report, the overall market for arable farm equipment in the EU is expected to decline about 7% in 2015, following a 5% decline in 2014. In Italy, unit sales for tractors dropped 9.4% during the first quarter, versus the same period last year, while combines were down 12.5%, according to the Italian Agricultural Machinery Manufacturers Federation. And now from the Ag Equipment Archives. International Harvester's early self-rake reapers featured a rake that swept across the platform at regular intervals regardless of how much grain was on the platform. A crew of 4 or 5 people was required to do the binding. In 1890, the introduction of the McCormick Folding Daisy Reaper solved the problem. The Folding Daisy featured an adjustable latch for regulating bundle size and a foot lever that could be used to actuate delivery at any time. Production of the Folding Daisy Reaper continued until 1905. If you have any feedback or story suggestions, you can send them to kschmidt@letspub.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.